Welcome everyone who's joining us today to Hope Sparks Spotlight, where I zero in on inspiring people working in education innovation. Today, I'd like you to meet a friend. Her name is Sharon Neiss Arbess, and she is, I guess you're many things. You're a mother, you're also a storyteller, you're a writer, and a resiliency mentor. And I'd love to dig into that later on in our chat. But you asked me to share a quote. Do you want to share a little bit about why you asked me for this quote and where it came from?
Yes, first of all, thank you, Hope, for having me here today. This is quite an honor to be on your, would you call this a broadcast? This is
Spotlight.
It's a
spotlight.
Spotlight. Thank you. This is lovely. So my second book, it's called Get Up. You can see it. It's kind of, I don't know why it's blurry on my end. Here, is that better or whatever? It doesn't really matter. They're short stories on lessons that I've learned. And there's also exercises that follow these short stories by David Newton. And then thirdly, there are mentors in here. I have chosen over 60 mentors who have wisdom, who have lived on this planet for quite a number of years, have learned a few things. And I want to know what they would tell their 13 or teenage-year-old self. And they're just, the quotes that are just remarkable, and yours is wonderful, and I'd like to read it because I have it right here. Follow sparkly people, humans who stand out in their ability to listen to their own heart. Being close to them will allow your own thrum to sound clear. There's nothing like being around people that uplift you. You know, it just keeps you going. And even when you're in your darkest spots, when you're around people who will not just tell you it's going to be okay, I'm here for you, they're here just to listen and hold your hand and share a cup of tea or coffee and listen, just listen. And we'll hold your hand. And that, to me, once you have support and once you have your peeps, we're good.
I couldn't agree more. It was a real pleasure, actually, to teleport myself back to being a teenager again. And I have a teenager in my house who's quite different from me, but she's a human. And I think there are some similarities for sure. And I remember during that time of flux and hormones and changes and of feeling like, maybe I shouldn't listen to this inside voice. Maybe I should just do what everybody else is doing. And I feel like I wish that I could go back and tell myself to be around people that I felt like I could be myself. And it's something that I've made a huge priority over the last decades. And I actually would say that my 14-year-old now daughter is pretty good at it. She's pretty good at listening to that inner voice and following her own compass.
It's amazing. It's amazing that you actually stopped and paused and said, wait a minute, she's different than me. And my daughter's also, she's 18, but she's very different from me. And I have to respect that. And she has to respect my life as well, the way I do things. So, you do you, I do me. And we can still love each other and live harmoniously, but you really have to respect their choices.
Yeah, I've been having conversations with people working in education, teachers, principals, people who are designing programs for education, and the topic of mental nutrition has come up. And maybe it's a buzzword, but it's a lot of people in this discussion are talking about what are the ingredients that go into feeding your brain, feeding your mental health. And I would say that being around people who are creative, who are open-minded, who are secure in their own compass, but also can let you be you, as you're just saying, it's a really important mixture that I think we need to be encouraging our young people and also reminding ourselves. What do you think about that concept of mental nutrition?
It's liberating. It's releasing. I think Atticus has this phrase that he wrote, or I'm not even sure if Atticus is a male or female. I'll just call them they. It's amazing the power that you give someone when you allow them to be themselves.
Yeah.
I post that every couple of months. That's amazing. Like, to be around people who allow you to be yourself.
What does that look like when somebody allows?
What does that look like?
Yeah, what does that look like?
Physically, to me, it looks like this. That's what it looks like. Shoulders down. Stomach is relaxed. No headache, no tension. And then when you're allowed to be yourself, you have a lot of power and you have the potential to do what you're meant to do, and no one's putting a lid on your ideas or what you want to do and the change you want to make, because we're all here for a reason. And when someone puts a lid on what you want to express and what you want to produce, that's just suffocating. You don't want to live like that.
No, and I want to ask you, how do you feel kids these days are given the opportunity to be themselves? Where do you see it happening?
I think it starts happening at home when, because a lot of things happen at home. Parents who listen, parents who don't judge so quickly and say, do it my way, it should be done this way. And allowing your children to fail and learn from their mistakes. That's better than any education. And then once you let go of those boundaries within reason, things that are legal, of course. But once you let your kids just go and be, it's just amazing to watch them fly.
And did you know intuitively that was what you needed to do, or did you have a mentor?
No, I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
So and my kids Liv's going to be 19 next month, Adam's 20, Josh is 23. I'm still 2 are away university, but it's still a work in progress, and I'm still an active parenting, even though I'm not in the trenches and taking them here and there in school and everything. They're not living with me right now, but I'm still parenting them. So to answer your question, how did I get this way? Just practice. I guess it's I did a lot of work on myself, and I think it's trial and error. This seems to be working. They seem to be
openness. I mean, if you're going around and gathering from 60 mentors and asking them for their opinion and their quotes, that's pretty open.
Having a great partner, my husband, who's on the same page as me, having open communication, and also letting them watch me fail.
That's a great point.
Even the little things. It's I'm not perfect. My husband's not perfect. We're all works in progress. Even the simplest tasks of me making a dish and well, this sucks. This smells like paint. I don't know what happened here, but just little things oh well, let's order pizza. Okay, I failed. Next.
So you being a parent of teenagers or kids in their 20s, what words could you offer parents of little kids who maybe haven't built up that resilience or that ability to let their kids fail? What words do you have to share?
Oh, that's a heavy question. Just let them be. Let them be. Let them skin their knee. You know that book, Blessings of a Skinned Knee, by Wendy, I don't know her last name. Such a good book. Let them fail. It's the failures are the best lessons. That's my piece of advice.
That's beautiful. And Sharon, how do educators, how do parents find you and your work and your books?
I'm on Amazon. So you can Google my name, Sharon Neiss Arbess. You can put my Instagram tag,
Yeah.
in your
I'll put
chat.
everything below.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Sharon Neiss Arbess, Twitter, Neiss Arbess, Facebook, Sharon Neiss Arbess. They can
She's
get in touch with
everywhere.
me.
She's
I'm
everywhere.
everywhere.
I'll
I'm
put everything
active.
below. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm active. I could, send you autographed books. I have 2 books. So it's Get Up. And then I also have Me and My So-Called Friends, which is a fictional story about a 15-year-old girl who goes through a hell of a school year. It's been a favorite among grade 5 and up.
That
So
is, it's an amazing book. I got it for my daughter
thank
as
you.
well.
I'm glad.
She really enjoyed it.
Good.
Well, I really appreciate you being here and connecting
Thank you.
with other parents, other educators, and follow sparkly people. That is the
I
way.
agree. I agree.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you,
Thank
Sharon,
you.
so much for joining.